Welcome to the Rising Network. Lily here, and a warm welcome to today's Time Out Tuesday, Natural Ways to Boost the Immune System. We've invited guest Dr. Isabel Grote, who's a naturopath and director of the Foxborough Centre based in Norfolk, UK. I would now like to open up the floor and welcome Isabel into the conversation for our natural ways to boost the immune system. So, Isabel, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you. What I'd love to know is, and I'm sure probably lots of other people would love to know is, who are you and how did you get into this and why?
Right, I'm a naturopath, which is basically, in very simple terms, a GP, but only using natural remedies like herbal medicine, homeopathy, flower essences, hands-on, like reflexology, Reiki, and things like that. How did I get involved in it? Well, as a family, we can't take any antibiotics or sulfonamides, which sort of, with allopathic medicine, that's just about everything they're using. So we've always had to rely on herbal or homeopathy. And so that was already an interest. But I was sort of in 1992, my sister died, and in 94, my brother moved from our home here in Norfolk. And the question was, what is going to happen to the Foxborough? And I went, well, you can't do anything, you know, I'm going to be carried out the Foxborough feet first. And everybody went, yeah, that's great. We haven't got time to do it. You do it. You've got a PR company in London. Don't know how you're going to do it. So I moved home, and PR involved a lot of traveling. And so I had to make a choice, and I retrained, and hence naturopathy was the only choice available. And I love doing my own tinctures, my own flower essences and things like that. So when I trained with all that and running the Foxborough as in those days, certified biodynamic enterprise, which is, as the former Soil Association head, Patrick Holden, used to say, it's organic with bells on. We have much more restrictions. I'm no longer registered because the registration is just too expensive, but I still use the same principles, and I still run the Foxborough on the biodynamic principles. So it's heaven. I've been very, very lucky. So that's how I got into naturopathy, and the practice is now, on the 28th of May, it'll be 22 years old.
Wow, congratulations.
Frightening.
Wow. Well, congrats for, for being in it for 22 years, testament to kind of, the hard work. I know a lot, running my own business, it's hard to keep it going for that long. What I think would be really helpful is to just perhaps, should we just define what are the areas: homeopathy, herbal medicine, flower essence? What does that mean to people that don't know anything about this?
All right, so herbal medicine is more, naturopathy works on that, your body, mind and soul, okay? So you're a trilogy in a way. One works with the other. You cannot exclude one or the other. So herbal medicine works more on the physical level, whereas homeopathy and flower essences work more on the mental, emotional, soul type of level. And it takes, it does take a little time. Whereas we've been taught that with allopathic medicine, you pop the pill and that's it, your symptoms are gone. They're not gone, they're suppressed. Whereas with naturopathy, particularly with homeopathy and flower essences, it goes to the core of the issue and then heals from the inside out. So it probably takes longer. Herbal medicine is similar, but because it works from the outside in a sense, the symptoms disappear possibly well, definitely a little slower than with allopathic medicine, which just suppresses them, but possibly a little bit faster than with homeopathy and flower essences. The only thing is, you need one and the other. They all work together. They're all linked.
Okay. I wonder if anyone's got any comments or wants to join the conversation with Isabel. I've got a question, but feel free if you want to unmute your mic and ask away. I know Minha's on the call. She works in this space as well. So if you've got any comments, do throw them out there.
Nice
What I'd
to
like,
see you, Min.
what I would like to know are your thoughts on COVID-19, and how do you think, do you have any tips in terms of some good ways to boost our immune system during this time?
Absolutely. I think one thing we really need to remember is that COVID-19 is our flu season at the moment. Okay, it's not more than we do get an average during the flu season. It is nothing really special. The fear that is created actually reduces our immune system. Fear can reduce the immune system up to 60%. Okay, and what happens if your immune system is reduced by that much? You're much more likely to pick up whatever. Now, to boost your immune system, really simple: take loads of vitamin C. And I always get asked how much, and I always say bowel tolerance. It's not whether your wee is bright orange. That doesn't mean anything. If you take vitamin C up to the point where you have loose stool, and just reduce a fraction, and then you have the right amount of vitamin C. Now that can be 3,000 milligrams, that can be 15,000 milligrams, i.e. 15 grams. I have patients at the moment who quite happily can take vitamin C 15 grams a day, which is brilliant. I couldn't. I mean, I'm already struggling at 3, which is 3,000 milligrams. So take as much good quality vitamin C as you can. Then selenium is quite important, and 2 to 3 Brazil nuts a day will give you adequate selenium, and also vitamin D. Now, the general, I see Mina smiling there.
I saw her popping something.
She's got the Brazil nuts in front of her. Oh, hi.
Nikita.
Hi. Nice, Nikita. Good to see you. The selenium is really important too. It's a trace element, but also zinc and vitamin D. Going back to vitamin D, we've been lucky because we've got sunshine. We've just come out of the winter time. I generally, on average, recommend for my patients to take 20,000 IU vitamin D during the winter and 10 during the summer. And that's what I use. It depends whether you're really healthy or whether your immune system, or you're fighting something, your immune system is compromised. So you might even take a little bit more, but then I think you ought to talk to a naturopath like Dr. Mina or myself. Those are the main things. Now, if you've got the sniffles, or you think you're coming down with something, and you're already taking the vitamin C, the vitamin D, and everything else, take echinacea. It's a wonderful anti-inflammatory and anti-infection, and it's one of those herbs which instinctively knows where to go. And one of the things also, do not forget, you need adequate sleep. Okay, the body regenerates during the sleep. It regenerates and produces more immunoglobulins while you sleep. So get your 8 hours if you can. And with lockdown at the moment, there should be no excuse not to get your 8 hours at least. I mean, I need 10 hours, but there you go. Okay. So it's really important to do that. And if you get a little bit of a cough, a really fantastic old remedy: chop an onion, put it in a glass, fill the glass up with honey, let it sit for a few days, and start taking 3 or 4 teaspoons a day.
Delicious. Oh, wow. Delicious.
It is. Like you think licorice is good, so some people go, oh, she's crazy.
See Sahini laughing over there. So Isabel, so I don't know about anyone else, but I find because I'm at home now, I'm not moving as much. I'm not physically moving as much. And what I'm finding again is that my week is becoming one big long day. And I'm finding that I'm becoming more and more tired and fatigued. Like my energy is just really low. And so I'm making an effort to go out on my daily walks and to get out and fresh air. But is there anything we can take or anything we can eat or something to lift that sluggishness? I don't know if anyone can relate, feel a bit sluggish and fatigued. What can we do?
Well, I mean, body brushing when you get up. Get some 2 brushes with nice, not too soft, but not too hard bristles either. And natural bristles are the best, really. And always start at the feet, moving up towards the heart, out from the hands towards the heart, your whole body. Have a shower, and you'll hate me for this, hot and cold. Oh. So you start off with absolutely freezing, you flick over to hot, go back to cold, go back to hot, go back to cold, and finish on the cold.
Right.
And that will really get your lymphatics going and your blood circulation, and you're ready for the day then.
Right.
And it's really important, yes, keep your routine and make the routine from Monday to Friday different to Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
I've been doing that, and I've been sticking religiously to it. But I mean, I work from home anyway, so it's slightly different for me.
Yes.
In that case.
Yes. Plus, Isabel, found out you have 4 acres of land to wander around in. Not all of us have the luxury of walking around in that space. So
that's the garden. Yes, that is what I have to do. There is vegetable growing. There is the fruit patch to, the fruit cage to get involved in. I've got chickens, and we've been very excited. We've got 4 chicks.
Oh.
And yes, of course, lambing and things like that. So yeah, I'm lucky.
You're lucky. It sounds delightful. After lockdown, if anyone wants to visit the Foxborough Centre, do check out what Isabel's got there. It sounds like a peace haven, somewhere to go for some time out, particularly if you've got any specific kind of medical illnesses or something that you would like some help in terms of treating the holistic way. Isabel, you offer this throughout the year, is that right? With the centre?
Yeah. It's very rewarding. I love doing it. It's hard work because if somebody comes and stays for a week or so, it's 24 hours full on, but it's so worthwhile.
Yeah. I wonder does anybody else have any questions or want to share about anything, how they're feeling during COVID-19, want any advice or some tips?
Actually, can I just,
go on,
Sahini.
Hi. Thank you so much for doing this. This is fantastic. And actually, it's just to expand on what Lily was talking about. So my main thing is that I'm feeling extremely lethargic. I'm getting my 8 hours. So I'm actually sleeping. So I'm sleeping, which is brilliant, but I'm not feeling refreshed in the morning. I'm almost dreading starting the day. It's that kind of anxious feeling that I'm getting in the mornings before I've even started doing anything. I've got 2 kids running around the house, trying to teach them and trying to work at the same time and trying to get some sort of balance. So yes, the body brushing, that sounds amazing, but can you suggest anything that I can maybe add to my diet, and even to, just generally for the family, so the kids as well, because I know their mood's changing as well, because obviously they're missing school, they're feeling a bit, out of sorts. So is there anything that you could recommend I could add into their diet at all?
Into the diet, yes, all fresh, fresh fruits, anything that's local and that's current, rather than, pineapples or melons from God knows where, which are not, which are out of season for us, really. The thing is, our bodies are seasonable as well, and our blood during autumn and winter is thicker than during spring and summer. And now during spring and autumn, it changes. That's when the viscosity changes. So during the summer, it's a lot lighter because it doesn't need to keep the heat in. So we don't actually need more starchy food or anything. That's why we crave more salads. And, you know, you've got rhubarb coming up at the moment. You've got asparagus, which are all really good detox vegetables or fruits.
Okay.
In autumn and winter, in autumn the blood goes thicker because it needs to retain more heat, so we need more starchy foods, the more root vegetables, the carrots, the potatoes and things like that. That would be one thing. But from the essential oil point of view, from the aromatherapy point of view, and everybody thought I was absolutely crazy because I was running around with little bottles of 5 milliliters of wild orange and giving it to everybody, whether it was the person at the checkout in the supermarket or somebody a delivery person. They were going, oh yeah. Now the essence of the wild orange, is antiviral and it's antibacterial, so it's good to have rub your hands in it, much better than the hand sanitizers that everybody is selling for £1 or something. But also this scent lifts your mood, and it combats fear. It actually is, if somebody's very fearful, I use it to help with depression and fear. So, you know, diffusing wild orange during the day or evening, possibly not evening because it's actually quite awakening. Okay. So I'd probably do it first thing in the morning, or add it when you've done your body brushing and you've had your hot and cold showers. Make yourself a little bit of oil with the wild orange and moisturize your body with it.
Okay.
That would be good. Anything like that. It's our, you know, this time of year is our natural detox time. It's when the body detoxes anyway, which means we are going to be sluggish. We're going to be more tired, because the liver is meant to chuck stuff out now. So lots and lots of hydration, lots of water, good quality water, ideally distilled, or also, you know, drink supporting teas like dandelion, nettle. Those are all detoxing things.
Okay, thank you very much. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Hope so.
Oh no, brilliant. No, definitely. Thank you.
Really fascinating. I had no idea. I could never explain why is it in the winter I want to eat more carbs, I want to eat more starchy foods, and your explanation, the reason why with the blood and the thickness, it makes total sense now.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's because our diets have changed so much as well, because we can now get, you know, watermelons in the midst of winter when they're actually not in season, but our bodies aren't meant to have these things.
That's really good to know. I felt so guilty during the winter periods, like, why do I want to eat so much carbs? And now it's like scientific and a physiological thing.
There is. And also we're always going to be heavier in winter than we are in the summer.
Right. Gosh.
Because we need more, we need to retain the heat.
Yes. And really interesting to hear about wild orange. So great antibacterial and really good for fear and depression.
Yeah.
So you touched on essential oils. So because I know you and we've spoken about essential oils in the past, you've raised it to me that actually some essential oils are actually not as pure as they say. And so we have to be careful with that. So how do we spot the signs of a good essential oil, whether it's manufactured, you know, with no chemicals, etc.? And can you recommend some good oils and a brand perhaps that you use?
Well, just briefly, if you think how essential oils are distilled and purified in order to give you the product, you're distilling, if it's not naturally or organically produced, and you have chemicals sprayed on it, bugs and stuff like that, pesticides, herbicides, that type of thing, you're actually distilling that as well. So that is why it's really, really important that you go for certified organic natural oils or wild harvested. Okay. As you know, Lily, the brand I use is doTERRA, because it's very transparent. You literally, every bottle has a specific number on it, and you can trace that bottle to the very farm where it was harvested, through the whole process backwards. And you can do that with every single bottle. And actually, I'm really pleased, because as soon as COVID happened, doTERRA has a charity called Healing Hands, and they offered free oils and diffusers to all the GP practices and hospitals. Wonderful. Who wanted them. So as I told you earlier on, my neighbour is a GP and her husband is a consultant. He's a paediatrician obstetrician at the local hospital here. And she went, yeah, we'll have it, please. And she's actually made a point of saying, ever since we had the diffuser and we used wild orange, but also some other oils, the whole atmosphere in the GP practice, and it's quite a big one, they employ 62 people, so it's quite big, has completely changed. And people have been asking what's different, and they can only say it's the oils, because we're continually diffusing either, you know, lavender or wild orange and various other things to lift the mood, but also because they're all antiviral, antibacterial, so nobody's actually come down with anything. Now, the consultant wanted to have some for his maternity ward, and the hospital said, no, we've got to go through all these processes. So by the time we finished, it'll probably be finished with COVID anyway, which is a shame, because I think, you know, in a maternity ward, what better place to use essential oils? Yeah. So, but going back, you know, the majority of the oils, they do have, like oregano is a really, really strong antibiotic, or oregano, however you pronounce it. There are various different oils for different aspects, but all, or the majority of these oils are antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial, and it's anti-inflammatory. So it's really, really good to use any of these oils. Yeah. But if you want good quality, they are expensive. I was talking to one of my patients who wanted some more peppermint oil, and she's run out, so she can't wait and order from doTERRA directly. So, you know, but it's £22 for 15 millilitres, which is, you pay for quality. And it lasts, these essential oils. Oh yeah. You know, it does last. I'm a big fan of them. You gifted me some, Isabel, which was so kind of you. It's a very good quality essential oil, and I myself use a humidifier. So that's another good tip, guys, is you can get yourself a humidifier, fairly cheap, really. You can go on Amazon, right, and you can order them and recommend put some drops and have that diffusing in the background at home, and that can also lift and boost your health. And oh, absolutely, particularly anyone with depression or fear. So you point out wild orange. Yeah. And oregano. Oregano it's quite strong. I would probably skip that one. I'd stick to wild orange or frankincense even. Frankincense is my favourite. Mine too. Yeah. The church knew why they were using frankincense, because it's very antiviral and everything else, but it also lifts the whole, the body, mind and soul. It's one of the oils I use for cancer patients as well, internally as well as externally. Right. It is an amazing oil. Oh, that's really good to hear, because I got my mum some oils, and frankincense was one, and she was recently diagnosed with cancer a few months back, so she started to use it. So I'm really good to hear, actually, there is. Oh yeah. And she said she's feeling better from it. Well, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Good. I've got a really quick question. I know we are at 3:30 at the moment, but so if you do need to leave, anyone, you know, welcome to leave. But if we're okay to carry on, Isabella, are you okay to carry on for a few more minutes? Yep. So someone recently said to me
to help. So you mentioned about flushing the liver out, keeping hydrated, water. Someone had mentioned fruit barley water because it's full of electrolytes and it's a good way to flush the system out. Is that true?
Barley water, yes, yeah, if it's well made. Don't buy the barley water in the shops because it'll have other things in it, like, you know, something sugar or whatever. Make your own barley water.
Right.
In that sense, that's quite good. Personally, I don't particularly like it, so I tend to go more for plain water or teas.
Yeah.
I need warmth.
But what I was interested in was the fact that she said like electrolytes, they're full of electrolytes in
Yeah,
there.
everything is full of electrolytes. It's not just barley water. You have the teas which are full of electrolytes as well. And if you drink water and you add a tiny bit of Himalayan rock salt, for example, you add the electrolytes. There is loads. There is loads.
Okay, that's another good tip. Himalayan rock salts, just put a little bit of that in your...
A tiny bit, not too much. Yeah.
Not too much.
When you start tasting it, it's too much.
Too much. Okay. Right. Well, some really good tips there to help boost the immune system during COVID-19. I wonder, does anybody else have any comments or questions with Isabel before we wrap up? No? Okay, so a couple of comments in the chat box. Isabel, Lucy Allen says, thank you. It was great and informative. Sahini, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Lily and Isabel. Very useful tips there. So, Isabel, I want to thank you for your time joining us to talk about natural ways to keep healthy. If anybody is interested in finding out more from you, reaching out to you, what's the best way?
Well, you can get me on the email isabel@foxborough.co.uk. And I told Lily earlier on, I've just started the patreon.com/Foxborough, which is a membership club almost, where I'll post every week some health things, videos or podcasts. If you want to have a fill of my information once a week, there you go.
There we go.
Patreon.com/Foxborough. But direct questions, you're welcome to post them at isabel@foxborough.co.uk.
Wonderful. And Isabel is a member. I am trying to convince her to do another session with us. She did an excellent breathe away anxiety session. So hopefully we'll see you again, Isabel, in the Rising Network. And Sahina's just asked, can you give me the name of the brand you mentioned?
It's doTERRA. If you go on my website, which is Foxborough, foxburgh.co.uk, foxborough.co.uk, there is a link to doTERRA.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
There we go. Right, I'm going to wrap up. Before I wrap up, I want to share with you just some upcoming events so you don't miss anything else. So if I can keep your attention for another minute, that would be great. Upcoming events, online poetry, mindfulness poetry on the 21st of May, that falls in Mental Health Awareness Week. We've got an online workshop on the 28th of May, Social Capital and the Rules of Engagement. Another online, all of these are online, 7 Daily Habits on the 3rd of June. We've got an online course, a 3-part online weekly course on how to write and publish a book in 3 steps: story, strategy, and system. 16th of June, we've got Leading Through Uncertainty, and then online masterclass, 24th of June, Personality Types and Leadership. We will be uploading more events, so do head to the website if you would like to get an up-to-date events listing from us. On that note, I want to thank you again, everyone, for participating today. Thank you, Isabel. Really enjoyed our conversation here. I hope you'll come back and do another session with us. Final other comment from Gemma McGrath says, thank you, Isabel, in the chat box as well. So have a great afternoon, everybody, and I hope to see you soon at one of our up and coming events. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.